Tuesday morning, everyone, and welcome to KSAT News Now. It is June the 13th. We're coming to you from the KSAT 12 newsroom. Thanks again for hanging out with us for today's KSAT News Now. We are going to have this up on all of our digital platforms here in just a little bit, KSAT.com, also YouTube. And make sure to also like, rate, and subscribe to our podcast. Yes, this gets turned into a daily podcast when we're able to do the show. So KSAT News Now, you can check that out anywhere that you get your podcasts. Well, again, thanks again for hanging out with us on this Tuesday edition of KSAT News Now. Justin Horn standing by to give us the very latest on our very hot weather outside, scorching weather, if you will. It has been very hot. Is there any relief in sight? We'll find out from Justin here in just a little bit. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about how about them Denver Nuggets, okay? Shout out to the Denver Nuggets. They have won their first championship in their NBA franchise history. So pretty cool stuff there. Although they're kind of, their celebration got a little bit rowdy, unfortunately. So we'll mention that story here in just a bit. Plus, one of the game show GOATs announces his retirement. Yes. That'll make sense, hopefully, here in just a little bit. One of the game show GOATs has officially announced when he is retiring. But let's go ahead and start with some local news here and a overnight investigation here. An early morning shooting has police questioning the reason behind it, and it's also left one person in the hospital. San Antonio police say the shooting happened around 12:30 this morning in the 2100 block of Dollarhide, not far from Highway 281. Police say that the gunshots came from a car driving by an apartment complex. Now, a man in his 60s was shot in the ankle, but we're told that he was expected to be okay. And at this time, the shooter has not been caught, and a description has not been released of the suspected shooter. It's also unclear who the intended target of this shooting was. Okay, moving on to a big national story this morning. Security around a federal courthouse is tightened up ahead of former President Donald Trump's arraignment on federal charges. This is a story that we've been following and will continue to follow throughout the day. So this is Donald Trump, of course, the first former U.S. president to be arraigned on federal charges. He's facing a total of 37 counts, including 31 counts that allege that the former president willfully retained classified documents after he left office and refused to return them. The city of Miami is now planning for 5,000 to 50,000 people to rally outside the federal courthouse.
Wanted to ensure the public that we are ready.
If we begin to see that there's opposing parties, we'll at that time make sure that they're separated.
All right, and you just heard right there from the Miami police chief and the mayor. So officials say that there are no credible threats of violence. Donald Trump is expected to be arraigned at 3 o'clock this afternoon. There are no cameras allowed in court for today's arraignment. Again, a story that you could get the very latest there on KSAT.com, and we'll continue to follow that. Okay, so we talked about the NBA Finals. So there was a lot of excitement from the Denver Nuggets, of course, winning their first NBA championship, their 47-year history. But that quickly turned into fear after gunshots rang out during, I guess you want to call it, post-celebration events going on there in the city of Denver. So again, we'll talk a little bit more about Denver winning. But according to police, this incident here took place around 12:30 in the morning, right after midnight, when someone began shooting into a crowd not far from Ball Arena. That is the Nuggets' home arena. 3 people were critically injured and 6 others were shot and injured as well. The suspect was also shot and injured, and Denver police say that this is an ongoing investigation, and they say, quote, that this is going to be expansive. All right, here we go. It's back, Justin. I know you're very excited about this. Stick figure sports. It is back. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to talk about Denver, of course. So for people that don't know about stick figure sports, we cannot show highlights on a streaming or digital version due to copyright rules. So we're going to go ahead and do this here in terms of the Nuggets winning this thing. So I'll go and switch over to black. All right, we got the big man here, Nikola Jokic, doing the big things, the big Serbian. He's from Serbia, that's why he's the big Serbian. So Nikola had himself an MVP finals performance. Sorry, I got my back to you. Scored 26 points last night, 12 of 16 shooting. My man was dropping buckets all night to lead the Nuggets. So he is the MVP, Nikola. We'll have that right there, yeah. And it was funny, during the post game, they asked Nikola, they said, hey, are you ready for the parade? And he was like, when is that, on Thursday? And then he was just like, oh no, that's a bummer. I want to go home. He wanted to go home to Serbia because he's a big Serbian guy there. So anyway, so Nikola Jokic gets the MVP. Denver wins this thing over Miami 4-1. It is their first NBA Finals. I'll draw the little Delario Bryan trophy. Spurs fans know this well. The LOB. There you go. We got
Why is
that
he
going.
taller than the basket, though? That's what I need to know.
Dude, he's 7'1".
That's not taller than the basket.
Look, okay, he's a pretty tall guy, so I appreciate you. In there.
Well
He's
done.
7-1, the first NBA championship. But you know what? I'm going to give you one better here. You know what this allows us, Justin?
What's
is
that?
Now the NBA Finals are over. So you know what? Oh wait, my bad. Okay, I thought I was going to erase the whole thing. The NBA Finals are over. So now it is time for. Here we go. Let me see if I can punch this back up again.
Wembanyama time.
Yes, here we go. Thank you very much. See, Justin and I are on the same page here on this thing. We're talking about a tall guy. We're going to be a really tall guy. Spurs. Yes, here we go.
Barely fits on the screen.
Yes, Victor Wembanyama here. This is June 22nd is the NBA draft, and even though the Spurs cannot officially say who they're going to pick, we all know it's going to be Wemby. So you know what? We'll do the Tower of America's here because I've seen some paintings going around. Yes. About Wembanyama being about as tall as the Tower of the Americas there. Yeah. Victor Wembanyama is going to be here. June 22nd is the NBA draft. So if anything, the Denver Nuggets win allowed us to get closer to this date right here, June 22nd, when the Spurs pick number 1 in the NBA draft. And we're excited about this. Look at this. This is beautiful.
Also,
right?
Patty Mills is a free agent.
Oh,
Have you heard these rumors about some people wanting them back?
Yeah, I have. Actually, I'm on the fence about it because I'd like to get the veteran guy back, but also you're going to take away minutes from the young guys?
Yeah.
Unless Patty's like, hey, you know what? I'll just hang out, start waving the towel again like he used to back in the early Patty days.
We'll see. We have our choice. We're going to have some choices.
Yeah, we definitely have choices.
Yeah.
But Victor Wembanyama, Wemby time, June 22nd. We'll be here next week.
I love
next
it.
week. Let's go.
I love
Let's do it. Okay.
I am working on a geography story right now, RJ.
Okay,
I know
here we
that
go.
interests you so much. So
Yes.
I have a question for you,
Okay.
Weather 101. So San Antonio sits along the 29th North parallel. So you know the lines that go around the globe, right?
Okay.
Which of these
say so?
countries is not on the same parallel or latitude line as San Antonio? Is it Egypt, India, France, or China? What do you think?
Good Lord. Okay.
So if you were to travel along that
you
line
could have
around
picked
the
anything
globe.
that I have the least amount of knowledge
Come on.
about. This would have been it. Okay, go ahead.
What do you think,
producer
Haley?
Haley has it.
India.
Oh, San Antonio says 29th North
Okay.
parallel, which is the country is not on the same parallel or latitude line. Jeez, I feel like I'm back in school again. You know what? Let's go. You know what? For Wemby Mania, let's go see France.
I can't
see
believe
France.
this. He's right.
Yes.
It was all about Wembanyama. Yeah. So France is actually on the 45th North parallel. It's a little bit further north. India and China are along the same lines as San Antonio. And
Wow.
India. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Good job, RJ. Well done, my friend.
Random guess worked out.
Let's look at the KSAT 12-hour forecast today. Yeah, it's hot. We know it. I'm going to get through this pretty quick because there's not much to it. 92 at noontime. We'll start to see the clouds clear out. Then the sun pops out and we're up around 98 this afternoon. But it's a feels like number that's important. 104 is what it'll feel like. The humidity will still be thick. And so that's going to be the problem going forward. Tonight, temperatures drop down to 91 at 9 o'clock. It's not until 10 p.m. We're down below 90 degrees. And I wish I could tell you things change a little bit. In fact, it gets a little bit worse. This high pressure, that heat high, actually builds, gets stronger, and temperatures actually get even warmer as we head towards the weekend. The only bit of good news, if you want to call it that, is humidity levels may start to come down just a little bit. But in the grand scheme of things, hot is hot. So heat indices all the way up to 107 potentially this week. 99 tomorrow, by the way, tomorrow's Flag Day. 101 Thursday, 103 Friday, 103 Saturday, 103 Sunday for Father's Day. And then Monday, of course, Juneteenth, it'll still be hot going into next week. So a lot of heat on this 7-day forecast. It's kind of brutal, man. We had done so very well with the rain and the cooler temperatures, and that has come to an end.
Yeah, it feels like we got a little bit spoiled there with the rain kind of cooling things down. Also, want to let everyone know out there just to make sure to stay hydrated for one. And I know you guys shared an article yesterday about pets also being out in the asphalt, taking them for a walk. So that's something that people need to just kind of keep in mind if they do plan to make their way outside. Obviously, a lot of people, maybe like to go jogging. things of that nature, doing stuff outdoors. So definitely a lot of things to keep in mind.
Those paws will burn quickly. Yes.
Paws will burn quickly.
They will.
Yes.
On the asphalt, they do.
Protect those paws, okay?
Yes. Yes.
All right, I mentioned earlier about a game show GOAT, and this is what we're going to be talking about here. So this is a pretty big announcement, one of America's favorite game shows. Okay, so Wheel of Fortune, that show right there, longtime host Pat Sajak tweeted yesterday that he is stepping down as the host when the 41st season of the show comes to an end. So the new season kicks off in September. Pat Sajak is 76 years old and began hosting the show back in 1981 when it originally aired during the daytime. And then I kind of remember that. My grandparents used to watch that and Price is Right all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And then it started at night there in syndication, I guess, around like was it like 6 o'clock maybe? Like 5, 6 o'clock?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, dude. You're just like, yes.
Well, it was right around, my grandparents the same way. They would eat dinner right around Wheel of Fortune. It's like the end of an era, man.
Oh, totally. So I looked up some fun Wheel of Fortune facts, by the way, Justin.
Yeah.
So Pat Sajak, he became the host of Wheel of Fortune after Chuck Woolery left the series. Okay, there we go. Back in 1981.
Yeah.
So we got that. And can you guess the most amount of money that's ever been won in Wheel of Fortune?
I'm going to say like 80,000, something like that.
Not even close.
Really?
Well, wait. Okay, so it might be, the largest ever awarded to a single contestant, according to an article I found. I don't know if this is official. Okay, so this is maybe combined.
Okay.
Autumn Earhart took home $1 million in cash and prizes.
Wow.
Okay.
That's huge.
Yeah, so you threw me off there with the 80,000.
What? I didn't mean to. That's way more than I ever would have imagined.
Okay.
They do have the $1 million little
the wheel thing,
pipe
right?
piece.
Don't they have that? Okay.
Yeah.
So who's going to take over? What are we thinking here? So they say Vanna White is the leading kind of. I think a lot of the fans want Vanna White.
I think that would be a good choice. We kind of said Mike Ostrich would be a good fit.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of options.
That actually would be a good fit.
There are a lot of options.
That would be a good fit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shout out to Pat Sajak.
Yes.
I actually saw him once at a Dodgers game. He didn't recognize me or anything. I waved at him, but he totally blew me
The man
off.
does not
But
age. Can we just say that?
Great head of hair on
Yeah.
Pat Sajak. Yeah, keeping
Yeah.
it real. All right, so we're going to wrap things up. Thanks again, Justin, for hanging out with us. KSAT News Now. Yeah, make sure to stay hydrated if you plan to be out there, out and about. And protect those paws, those pets' paws. All right,
Yes.
guys, have a good one. Take care.